Well, they're moving quick. The U.S. Supreme Court has announced today that they are taking up the TikTok case. Now, they will hear oral arguments on January 10th. The ban is supposed to take effect January 19th. Now, normally what would happen in these cases is they would submit written briefs. They would schedule oral arguments months down the road. It'd be a slow process. They are skipping the written, they are fast-tracking those written briefs. They are going right to oral arguments January 10th. Now, the ban is supposed to take effect the 19th. What about that? Well, the U.S. Supreme Court has currently not issued a stay of the TikTok ban. Now, that means, as of right now, it goes forward as planned on the 19th. Except, they have not said no to a potential stay and making that ruling, hold, basically. They're going to make that ruling when they hear the oral arguments. So what that means is on January 10th, we will have an idea, I believe, of how this Supreme Court is going to rule on this case. Because if they hear the oral arguments and they think that there's no way that they're going to side with TikTok, I bet they do not issue a stay and they let the ban go into effect. However, if they hear the oral arguments and TikTok makes a good case and they think that there's a chance they could side with TikTok, they may put a stay on the law until they make a ruling or something like that. It could give us an idea of which way the Supreme Court goes. It also depends how the questioning goes with TikTok about what a ban would look like as far as, how much it would hurt them or how feasible it would be to let the ban take effect and then say 2 weeks later we get the ruling from the Supreme Court. How that would play out potentially could affect how the Supreme Court decides this. So the Supreme Court's fast-tracking things. They're going to have oral arguments on January 10th. Like I said, normally this would be a much slower process. So that's probably a good sign. They see the need for this appeal. Now, this case is interesting because it's got a lot of moving components. As far as I know, we have never had a case where we had a specific law targeting one particular business, not even a business sector or a whole industry. It's one particular company where a law says you must sell or you will not be able to do business in the United States. I don't remember that ever being a thing that Congress has done. They've passed laws that affect industries or, every place that sells coffee or something like that, but never one specific place. So that's one argument. There's also First Amendment considerations. And this potentially, depending on how they rule, could also affect things like Citizens United, where in Citizens United, they ruled, the Supreme Court did, that corporations are people and have First Amendment protections for speech. Well, if you cut off TikTok and say they don't have they're a corporation if they don't have speech, maybe they overrule Citizens United, and that would change how corporations can spend their money as part of speech. So we will see how they rule overall, but I think this is a good sign for TikTok, and it probably means this app is not going to go anywhere. But if you're worried about what happens when TikTok goes away, I'm also out on YouTube, Analytical Iowan on YouTube. There is a link in my bio. You can follow me there, and I'm on a few other apps as well. I will continue to make content regardless of if there's a ban. It just may not be on this app until that all gets sorted out.